Are we actually spiritual orphans? This is the question that we're circling today. Welcome to the Black Madonna Codes, a weekly conversation for women leaders who know the sacred feminine cannot be contained, sanitized, or erased.
Through honest conversation about how the Magdalene principles are woven through history, race, spirituality, and current lived experience, we are widening the story and honoring the many cultures that have carried this wisdom.
We're inviting you to open your heart with us as we explore the Magdalene path with curiosity, humility, and reverence for the lineages we carry. So, are we actually spiritual orphans? Someone said this phrase to me maybe months ago now. It has stuck with me. I was like, oh, I feel that way and I don't like it.
Tell me what that feels like. You feel like a spiritual orphan. Orphan from what?
Like, good question. Truth. Well, community, in the sense that I have religious trauma and church hurt and have left.
So you feel orphaned from the context of where you used to experience spirituality?
There's that layer. But even when I was there, I was seeking for something more all the time. So even if I set all of my previous, first non-denominational Christian, then Mormon Christian experiences aside, it's like, then what is it? Like, trying to find what feels rooted, find what feels grounded, and knowing that so many things haven't felt like truly in alignment, and then seeking to find those things. In my case, it meant a lot of borrowing from spiritual traditions that, like, my family or myself don't have anything to do with, but I'm learning now. And in other cases, it meant ultimately kind of coming home to Mother Earth. Mother Earth is like everyone's, right? Like, we all are here, and thank goodness, we're designed in such a way that we have to depend on her and stuff. And then going to my actual, like, ancient ancestral lineage, knowing their locations and things, and going, okay, how did they relate to Mother Earth? Like, that has been the most at home I've felt, but it's also been an isolated practice.
So is it orphaned? I don't know that orphaned is the right word.
Well, I think, yeah, isn't that an interesting thing? So I actually am an orphan in my childhood. and that's also arguable because I was adopted. I wasn't ever actually truly adopted. I was taken in, and my aunt and uncle became my legal guardians from 12 to 18. So nobody ever treated me like an orphan, and nobody ever understood that I was carrying the burden of the orphan, but I definitely was. It hasn't been until being an adult and looking and reflecting on how I was raised and the way that I was approached and how I was never really treated like a daughter again, for me to go back with compassion and be like, that was an orphan. You were an orphan, and that is real.
So when you say orphan, you're conveying disconnection. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Like a little lost puppy that needs support and nurturing. Doesn't know what to do.
I don't think of becoming a seeker. I don't experience that as being orphaned at all.
Interesting.
I'm adopted. So it's like
Yeah.
similar to your experience, right? I was adopted as an infant, but I don't experience it as orphaning. It feels more to me like, oh, it's like trying on shoes. Oh, this doesn't fit. So
Mm-hmm.
I put that one aside and then I try and, oh, let me try these. Let me try another size. Let me try the open toes. Let me try the slingbacks, whatever, right? Like, does this fit? Does this fit? Oh, this doesn't fit. But that doesn't, in my experience, it doesn't say anything about me. It's not
Yeah.
I don't fit. It's it doesn't fit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. As I've held the Magdalene interviews, I've encountered this conversation a lot. And I don't know that everyone resonates like you know, with the term orphan. That one really hit me, and I have some guesses as to why. But definitely like this conversation of I don't know my ancestral spiritual traditions. I only know the colonized version of Christianity that was, you know, that my family was either forced to adopt, or that, you know, now they've chosen to adopt, or whatever. And this, you know, kind of disconnection from the spiritual roots, and this seeking. And it's been interesting to recognize that I've found that across cultures, uh because there has been a lot of oppression when it comes to spiritual traditions as opposed to religious traditions. There's been oppression with religious traditions too, but definitely the more spiritual, connected to ancient feminine practices have been labeled as dangerous, witchy, etc. Um, and so it's fascinating to me how many women I have found that relate to, like, then what is it? And maybe for me, the orphan thing comes from, like, I always related to God as my father. And then when I joined the Mormon church, I found out I had a heavenly mother as well. And then when I have left those structures, um, I no longer relate to God as a mother or a father. So then it's like losing my mother and father all over again. And maybe that's where the orphan piece feels for me.
That's interesting. So you're saying that, because in my mind, even as you were saying it, I was thinking, oh, but they didn't leave you. When I think of an orphan, I think of an orphan as a child who was left for whatever reason, orphaned. They were orphaned. Like orphaning is something that happened to them. But
Mm-hmm.
you chose to leave the church. So you did
Well,
the leaving.
I
And so
did, but I didn't choose to leave a mother and father in heaven. Instead, I feel betrayed that that concept may never have existed in the first place, and how it was used to, like, weaponized against me to manipulate me to behave certain ways and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, well, did they ever even exist? And then the different ways that I was, like, coerced to prove my worth to them or prove my love to them through lots of men in the leadership of the church. Like, so then there's, like, yeah, this feeling of betrayal. Yeah.
I can get that. Like I can relate to that. And I also see, like, it's not an automatic connection for me, but when you've explained it further, it makes sense how that could occur, like orphaning, because you feel like you had a spiritual mother and father, and now that you've left that tradition, you don't have access to that spiritual mother and father. And there's some resentment there also around the way those archetypes or entities were used as tools of manipulation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But what if you do, like in spiritual science, not Christian science, spiritual science, they pray to Father, Mother, God, which I believe is rooted in this belief that spirit does not have gender.
Mm-hmm.
So it's both gendered or
Yeah.
androgynous or however you want to term
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Where I sit personally with it now is in this, we were texting about this a couple weeks ago, in this very like, I believe everything and I doubt everything kind of place, like this very paradoxical place, and the holding the uncertainty, and which I think allows me to like have a deep love and respect for how everybody else approaches spirituality, and like a interest. I've always had an interest and curiosity anyway. What I haven't always had was healthy skepticism, which I now have, which also I don't love, but nevertheless, life experience has taught
Right,
me
but
to
you're supposed to know a tree by its fruit. You're supposed to test,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so it makes me a little sad that you are in that space of, I have a lot of, I'm happy for everyone else who has their practice and their beliefs, but you are like, I'm sort of walking the line.
I mean, no. And the reason
Of
why I
me-
felt like it was important for us to bring this up today is because there is so much relating to like, it's not this, then what is it? And, how we relate to that is different for everyone. And the level of despair or hope or connectedness or disconnection that I feel is different literally every breath. Like, literally every moment of every day is different for me right now. Like I don't feel like oh, there's nothing beyond me. It's not like that. It's just like this the certainty is lost, which comes with its own kind of just unsettled.
I mean, that's interesting because for me, first of all, the loss of certainty happened a long time ago. It when I was in my 20s, because I came to the realization that the only constant is change. That's the only thing that you can depend on. There is only change. It's like whatever it is, it's going to change. And so once I got comfortable with that level of uncertainty, then I mean, I don't necessarily like all the changes when they happen. Like, my favorite restaurant closed. Like, dang, I really like that place, and now I won't be able to go there anymore. So you go through the grief of loss, like that's part of it, right? That's part of the human experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get that. My sense of what you're saying is that you're unmoored, kind of. You're
What is that?
unmoored. Like mooring is docking in a port. Like you're unmoored. So when the tide comes in, you come in, and when the tide goes out, you go out, and like that. That's unmoored, as opposed to being rooted in a belief, in something. And I think for me at least, growing up in a churchy family, there's a lot of ministers, a lot of pastors, a lot of church growing up for me, and having that translate when I got older to, I want to understand, why are there all these other religions, right? There's Judaism, and there's Islam, and there's Buddhism, and Hinduism, right? There are a myriad, and then there's indigenous practices, right? There's all kinds of ways that people worship. There's all kinds of pathways that people take to connect to the divine. And I was like, well, why is that? Because in a lot of religions, there's a teaching that if you don't believe what we believe, then you're going straight to hell, or some variation on that theme, right? Or you're not right, or you're not good. And so I wanted to really understand that. And when I looked, what I found, and this was an academic understanding, like I took a class on religion in college. And what I learned was that there is a thread that runs through them all. And when I found the thread that runs through them all, it occurred to me like, oh, this has got to be where the truth is, right? The thing that stays consistent over time through these different cultures and different religions and different practices. There are some things that are consistent. And those were the things that I looked to as, okay, these are the things that I can hold on to that will keep me from going in and out with the tide.
Yeah, I love that. I think for me, it's more like rooting into principles and values, but like going from and like it's so funny. I hold these things all the time because I'm like, it should be enough to say that like love is my religion, but when you go from like that's so profound, right? And I really feel that, and yet when you go from a structure that literally had like every detail of your life, of heaven, of your place, of your everything had a freaking answer to your principles. And even as a parent, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this enough? Like, is it enough to just lead with connection and do no harm and like these different like principles? We even had this practice in the LDS church where once a month you get up and you bear your testimony, which is really cool. Like in theory, it's like so neat to give everyone an opportunity at the microphone to just get up and share about what they believe and what they feel and whatever. But there's all these unspoken rules about how you're supposed to do it. You're not allowed to say, I believe. You're supposed to say, I know. And you're not really supposed to focus a lot on your personal lived experience. You're supposed to focus on the core principles of the gospel. So if you deviate too far away from this unspoken actually set of rules, then you'll probably get a talking to. And so there's this like, and it's interesting how there's this like obedience that happens without anybody even needing to say it out loud. it's like have to stay in the box or whatever. But like, the unraveling of how many times, like if you believe that language is spellbinding, if you believe that like there's power to what you say, how many times I said, I know about this and that. And also, if you know my personality, guess how often I got up to bear my testimony. I literally told people, if I don't get up 1 month, then you should come and check on me because there's probably something wrong. Like I got up and I said those things over and over and over. And so to come into this, like, it's just different.
Do you feel like it wasn't true? Like in retrospect, from where you stand now, the things that you said you knew, did you not know them?
Yes. Like for example, I know that Joseph Smith was the one true prophet of God. I just want to like vomit after I just said those words out loud. Joseph Smith also raped 13-year-olds and then like changed the religious law so that he could marry them and it would be all kosher. Like Joseph Smith, like, oh yeah, like, oh,
right, got that.
Yep.
But there's also this also kind of relates back to everything changes, right? You know better, you learned better. Yeah. And as in the words of the great Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah. Love that one. I love that one. Yes. So it has me circling these themes of how do we navigate then? Like, cause I actually didn't intend for this whole conversation to be about like me and my journey. I really was thinking about so many of the women I've talked to and thinking also about all the Black Madonnas as they sit there in Catholic cathedrals, most people not knowing what they represent, most people not knowing the historical context. Like if any given Black Madonna was actually an entity to get to sit there and be Mary inside of this system when she actually is ISIS, or when she actually is like, I'm just like, isn't that interesting? And how much I relate to that of, going around in a Mormon cloak and people thinking that's who she is, and me knowing there's something else here, and now finally getting the opportunity to come into it. And I've been thinking about how important like it is to not do that in isolation. Like the people that I have connected with over the years, I mean, even my own clients have been so beautiful and supportive to me, as they just bring their hope and their beauty and their ways that they connect and their spiritual lineages and things. It's such a gift. So I think about the need for that. And that's a huge part of why we created the meeting place, is for people to be able to be in community like that. And that it's a type of community where it's not like you don't have to believe a certain way or a certain thing, that there could be this honoring of all the different ways that we show up to our life, our purpose, our lineage. It matters so much. That has mattered so much for me.
So would you say the meeting place is a place where people, I don't know if this is only for women or is it co-ed, can come together? It's for women. So a place where women can come together and be in their own inquiry.
Yeah.
Be in their own inquiry, finding what's true for them, finding what works for them as they navigate their connection to the divine. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. It feels more like a core tenet of the space itself, as opposed to like the objective. But like, yeah, so that we don't need to be on guard or need to feel like we need to defend our principles or need to defend our way or whatever, like that we can just be in what feels real and true and good for us. And then what can be created once we have that safety? Like, then how are we leading? How are we being in our communities, in our work in the world, and our, places and spaces that we're influencing people? How do we then relate to our bodies? What are we birthing? What are we creating? And then even like, how is revenue flowing, and how can we be supported by our resources inside of all that we're carrying and doing? That's what I really see for it.
And so that's the invitation. Is it free? Is it free to join?
It is not free to join.
Okay.
You can attend a Black Madonna leadership gathering once for free. Even if you've already been to one, you can join once for free to get a feel of if you want to join us. But there's the Black Madonna leadership conversations. There's an Eros Blood and Body call, which will be a teaching led by a woman of color, bringing whatever spiritual medicine they feel called to bring. A creativity and writing studio, and then a referral and collaboration emphasis and gatherings as well. So, and in addition to all of that, since I'm just talking about all the different places and spaces and things, what is involved in this, there's a spiritual box that will come to your front doorstep every month, which, is super, super beautiful. It will come from different places from all around the world, and whichever place it's focused on that month for that box, it's local artisans, small business owners, and beautiful things like essential oils or stones or whatever, sage or things from different regions. So just opportunity to integrate in all of the ways, even in your home.
Love that. So it's a multifaceted approach.
Yeah.
And how often will we meet in this meeting place?
There's like a couple of different things. It's not a set thing every month. But for sure the Black Madonna Leadership Gathering is every month, and the Teaching Eros Blood and Body is every month. So
okay. So at least 2 meetings.
yeah.
And possibly some other spaces, like maybe some office hours or something like that.
Yep, exactly. And then quarterly will be our referral community.
Got that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool. Yeah, I really do hope that, it could be a space for, what I keep envisioning is like when queens come together from different regions all over the place, and they come together and they talk about what's working, what's not working, or the grandmother elders of the tribes, and they come together, because our world is crazy right now. And I think connecting to these pre-patriarchal spiritual traditions is exactly what we're all missing. It's like the rooted things coming back to our roots. And so I really have a big vision of a ripple effect of these meetings to really impact the planet and how we're showing up in the world.
Well, that's been proven already, that when people who are connected to the divine come together and access the divine, and on behalf of a cause or an issue, that they can move the needle with their practice. So
Yeah.
that's actually a thing.
Yeah. So if you've been listening and you feel like a spiritual orphan of some sort, I just want to speak into hope and things for you. My favorite thing that I got from Deidra actually is that nothing is actually lost, even though it might be forgotten. That has like stuck with me a lot of times since you said it. And the other thing that I know is that no woman fully remembers herself in isolation. It's not our nature. Our nature is to be in community, where we feel deeply seen. And it was really cool because we had this woman come on to the Magdalene Feast Day event that we had last week. And she was, one of the ahas that she had was like, I feel so different right now because I'm in a space where I can just fully be myself. And she had been, doing a lot of business trainings and marketing things, and, a lot of like this very masculine energy approach to her business and stuff. And she just was like so moved, like, I need this, I need these spaces. And I just was like, yeah, how relatable is it being in lots of spaces where you don't feel like you could be yourself?
Yes. You definitely need a place where you can be your place, be yourself, and be in community, because we can all be ourselves by ourselves, but but it's hard to know yourself by yourself.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'd love to hear your comments. As always, we'll keep an eye out for them, and we'll see you again next time on the Black Madonna Codes.
Bye.